Leknaat the Seer, the bearer of the back Gate Rune, a mysterious blind seer who maintains the balance of the world, is one of the only characters to have appeared in every Suikoden game so far, and though her appearance stays consistent, her demeanor and personality actually change with every appearance throughout the Suikoden timeline, and in this video we will look at Leknaat's role in each of the mainline Suikoden games and whether there's more than meets the eye to our beloved Guider of Destiny. In Genzo Suikoden IV, the first in the chronological timeline of Genzo's Suikoden mainline series, she appears ethereal, spirit-like, and speaks in a very echoed tone to our hero.
Please forgive my sudden appearance. I don't mean to frighten you.
Leknaat explains the history behind the Rune of Punishment and how it will drain Laszlo's life every single time he uses it. She knows all about the 27 true runes of destiny and has appeared before every Tenkai star so far,
which governs life and death. The Soul Eater must not disappear from this world. Re-accepting the rune from which he has distanced himself for so long has shown me just how determined humans can be. As for the end of the world, you need not worry. No one should be concerned of such a thing right now. You must choose the path which you believe in. I shall watch over you to see where it leads you. O runes of fate, though we are both destined to be pursued, someday I am certain I shall see you once again.
Who was that just now?
That was Lady Leknaat, and she deemed that event important enough to appear before Laszlo. Ted, who was on the fog ship guide living a burden-free life with the Soul Eater passed over, appeared as an optional boss in Genzo Suikoden IV, but ultimately they defeated the fog ship guide. Ted regained the use of the Soul Eater, and Leknaat even mentioned a city where other such beings dwelled. So it's clear that Leknaat has an intrinsic interest in the well-being of the true runes and follows their journey through the course of destiny, even knowing some hidden locations not known to man. Whether she's manipulating things behind the scenes to make sure the fate plays out the way she intends, or whether she's just a curious bystander is yet to be seen. And we're gonna move on to Genzo Suikoden V, the next in the chronological series.
Who are you?
Please forgive me for my sudden intrusion. My name is Leknaat. I am the guardian of the true runes.
The true runes?
Of the 27 true runes, the Sun Rune has always shown itself to be especially powerful. It even burned an entire kingdom to the ground in a single night, a kingdom that once thrived on this very land. And because of its unique power, it took that barren wasteland and restored it to the fertile green land it is today. Both the Twilight Rune and the Dawn Rune are magically tied together to the inherent power of the Sun Rune. The destiny of the Sun Rune and all that depend on it has been set in motion. You, the host of the Dawn Rune, you and your friends have placed yourselves in the path of that destiny. Zerase, you're there, aren't you? You, traveler of the night and bearer of stars, you can see them, can't you? The stars that guide people's destinies?
What? Are you trying to give me an order? Very well. The names of the ones destined by the stars who have chosen to fight by your side will appear here.
But please remember this. The stars are only guides. Destiny does not determine a person's future. 'Tis a person's will that determines destiny. I will be watching to see where your struggles will lead. The Sun Rune.
So it's interesting to note that Leknaat seems to have knowledge of all the different 27 true runes and what they are capable of. When she mentions the Sun Rune historically has been very, very powerful and devastating, having burned down an entire town in one night. She also notes that the Dawn Rune and the Twilight Rune are responsible for keeping the Sun Rune in check as well. And she doesn't necessarily help humans avoid tragedy. Is she a human herself? She's obviously part of the Gate clan with her sister Wendy. She notes that Zerase is the bearer of the stars. What does that even mean? She can't seem to perceive that Zerase is here. She says, "Zerase, are you here?" with her eyes closed. Will it be that she reveals her true self when her eyes are finally open? She seems to be able to see the strings of destiny, knowing that man can weave fate to ultimately unravel destiny as it comes. However, Leknaat, as a bystander, seems to acknowledge that humans can choose the path forward, and in Genzo Suikoden V, she plays a minimalist role and just sees what happens to the Queendom of Falena. Perhaps she favors certain Tenkai stars and protagonists over others, as she has a direct hand in the dealings in Genzo Suikoden I, where it all began. Termok, over to you. Now, Lady Leknaat and her sister Wendy were born in the village of the Gate Rune clan. Nobody knows when exactly, sometime before Solace 30 and in Solace 60. However, in the year Solace 70, the village was burned to the ground by the Harmonian army who were searching for the Gate Rune. The Gate Rune had been split into two halves, the Lady Wendy and Lady Leknaat. Leknaat somehow lost her sight during this conflict, and they both fled the village to prevent Harmonia from acquiring it, going their separate ways. Interestingly enough, the Gate Rune is noted as one of the 27 true runes, but additionally, it can be split into two separate forms, like the Rune of the Beginning that you'll later see in Genzo Suikoden II. Leknaat came to reside on Magician's Island off the northern coast of the Tauran Republic, and it's here where the party and the viewers are introduced to Lady Leknaat for the first time, because the Emperor Barbarossa wants the astral conclusions, monthly astrological forecasts of what will happen next in the course of the world, almost like Mystic Meg, whilst Wendy is the court magician courted by Emperor Barbarossa due to his resemblance of his late Lady Claudia. Now, we note that Lady Leknaat raised two orphan apprentices, Luck and Sarah, who will come to know in Genzo Suikoden III. Luck obviously summoning the golem to impede Termok party's way when they first arrive at Magician's Island. However, in this game, Genzo Suikoden I, Leknaat plays a very prominent role and has huge amounts of interaction with Termok, not only giving a fire rune to Cleo, noting her potential as a magician as well, the astral conclusions to Emperor Barbarossa, guidance in regards to what to do with the Soul Eater, and reviving Gremio if you collect 108 Stars of Destiny. She also appears on the battlefield herself to banish back to the world of chaos all of the monstrosities that Yuba and the Hachifusa rune has summoned onto the field with Lady Wendy's assistance. And it's also well noted that Leknaat asks her not to use his powers of the Soul Eater to aid in her banishing of the demons, and instead relies on Joshua Leventhite's Dragon Rune to banish them back. Could it be that she fears the Soul Eater will claim another soul, or is there an ulterior motive here? Because she also showed a very obsessive side to the Soul Eater, in particular in Genzo Suikoden IV and its well-being and place in the world of Genzo Suikoden. And it's particularly interesting to note, back to the Fog Ship Guide, that when the Fog Ship Guide was defeated and Ted reclaimed the Soul Eater, that Leknaat did not let the Fog Ship Guide go. In fact, she instructed Ted and the Soul Eater to devour the soul of the Fog Ship Guide and then banish him away. Unless it posed an immediate threat slightly out of character, did the Fog Ship Guide know something that we do not? Somewhat the actions of an evil witch here, would you not say? And additionally, we do not know what happened to Windy after Barbarossa grabbed her and jumped off the ledge. So what happened to her remains, her body and the front gate rune, as well as Emperor Barbarossa's sovereign rune as well. They have not been seen since, and Leknaat vacated the Magician's Island and those runes are missing. Leknaat, Hikusak, Yuba, Pesmerga, Zarase. All seems rather suspicious to me. Especially as Leknaat says that she was the enforcer of balance, the flagship guide potentially being a proponent of chaos. Maybe Hikuzak trying to claim all the runes is on the opposite side of the war to Leknaat, or what if Leknaat is a clone of Hikuzak herself? Either way, there's chaos going on in the world, and Leknaat's true intentions are yet to be seen. And that brings us to Genzo Suikoden number 2. The Legend of Genkaku. Ru, Jowie and Nanami, childhood friends. Their paths will cross once again when they arrived in the sealed cave where Genkaku and Hans Cunningham buried the rune of the beginning in the two halves, the bright shield rune and the black sword rune. Leknaat would have known of the history of the world where the sword and shield fought, and the shattered shards of that epic battle became 27 true runes and their offspring as well. Destined to fight Hans Cunningham and Genkaku on the opposite sides of the war, the Dunan Unification War, Jowie and Ru were destined to cross paths as well, walking different lines for their future, doing what was right for the army that they represented. Leknaat, knowing all of this in hand, did nothing to prevent the ensuing sequence of events and tragedies that were to unfold, and yet she watched on as a bystander as casualties from the Jouston City army and Highland mounted up. And compared to her interactions with Termok Dol in Genzo Suikoden I, she stands in the background and only appears again to unlock the final spell of the Bright Shield rune just before the Battle of Rockaxe. And if all 108 stars of destiny are gathered under your banner, she instigates a sequence of events that allow Joey and Ru to realize that Nanami did indeed survive, although she didn't have a hand in her revival as she never passed away in this duality, unlike Gremio. But it definitely is interesting to note that she has Zarase summon forth the Tablet of Destiny, where the stars of destiny unite and have their name inscribed. Similarly, in Genzo Suikoden I, she caused Luck to do the same. And though she thought the 108 stars of destiny united to combine forces and provide their combined strength to Ter, the army actually had to remind her that Gremio, one of the stars of destiny, passed away, in which case she revived him. Now, how much of a ploy the 108 stars of destiny have in ensuring the direction of destiny goes according to her desires is yet to be seen, but she seems very keen indeed to make sure 108 stars of destiny are gathered on each and every occasion for the Tenkai star. Therefore, is she determining the side of good and which side will triumph? Especially because she is not physically seen in Genzo Suikoden V and Genzo Suikoden IV. She appears as a hologram, especially because Laszlo thinks she's a ghost and apparition every time she appears because she is physically not there, whereas she actually is in Magician's Island for Termok Dol, and she appears in the Cave of the Beginning as well for Ru and Jowie. So putting all things together, she had a direct influence in the Scarlet Moon Empire's fall, similar to Highland's fall in Genzo Suikoden II. She was very keen to snuffle out Yuba's demonic horde and banish all those monsters summoned from the realm of chaos from Yuba's Hachifusa rune and Lady Windy's Black rune and Front Gate rune. But being located far away, she wanted to influence the Queendom of Falena. She wanted to influence the island nations. She has a relationship with Zarase, who has no respect for Leknaat. But Zarase only cares for the Dawn and Twilight runes, so she's tied to Falena. And Zarase herself is mysterious because she has a working relationship with Jean as well as Eresh. So could it be that Leknaat is the puppeteer at the top, bringing each story to its natural conclusion through influence? Or is she merely there to restore balance because when Yuba, Neclord and Windy joined the Scarlet Moon Empire's side, they were overwhelming favorites? And that leads us nicely to the final chronological Suikoden so far, Genzo Suikoden III, where her apprentice has a big part to play. Set in the grasslands in the future after Genzo Suikoden II, sometime between Solace 457 and Solace 463. Leknaat had her apprentice Luck free Sarah from the Circle Palace deep within the Crystal Valley in Harmonia and bring the child back to Magician's Island. There, they both served as magician's apprentices under Leknaat's guidance, but years later, during Genzo Suikoden III, Luck leaves Leknaat after helping in Genzo Suikoden I's war and the war in Genzo Suikoden II and takes Sarah with him. He proceeds to instigate the Second Firebringer War, being responsible in the shadows for the warring tribes battling and blaming each other, after enlisting the help of Albert Silverberg of the famous Silverberg strategist family and Uber, the Dark Knight now unmasked, to destroy his own true rune. He goes about trying to relieve himself of the curse, having been made aware of his own birth as a clone of Hikasak, similar to Sasarai, who bears the true Earth rune. Leknaat elects not to interfere with the war and not to stop him, and instead allows him down his path to discover his own ultimate fate. Now, the hero of Genzo Suikoden III, the Tenkai Star, is Thomas, Castle Keeper, but the three true rune bearers, Gedo, Chris, and Hugo, unite together to uncover the mysterious identity of the masked bishop, who turns out to be our beloved cheeky magician Luck. Luck, having been deceived his whole life and having struggled to accept that he is merely a clone, a vessel for the true wind rune, gathers all of the other elemental true runes and uses their combined force to try to destroy the true rune of the wind once and for all and disrupt the balance in the world, ending the dominance of the 27 true runes. However, his plans are ultimately thwarted and he succumbs to the collapsing of the cave with his beloved Sarah, and you see in the credits their spirits roam back to Magician's Island, where Leknaat comforts their souls before they move on. And it's interesting to see that once again Leknaat references Luck as a human child, similar to the battle with the fog ship guide, that humans can show their toughness and alter the fate of destiny. Even though the wheel of destiny and fate itself is heavy, it can be altered and man should never give up without trying. But if we're really doing what if scenarios, there's a secret file in Genzo Suikoden 3. Unviewable by the player, but definitely on the CD itself, written by the directors. What if Leknaat is the ultimate villain of Genzo Suikoden X, the Genzo Suikoden series, an unnumbered entry with intimations that Leknaat may not be what she seems. Now let's do a summary of Genzo Suikoden 1 through 5. What if Leknaat isn't just a series' wise mentor, but potentially one of the greatest villains in disguise? Let's deep dive into her appearances, her history, and the unanswered questions that will still haunt Suikoden fans to this day. Why is it that Lady Windy gets directly involved, tries to take the Soul Eater from Termagdol, tries to take the Soul Eater from Ted as well? Why is it that Windy can have an active participation in the battle and things to come, whereas Leknaat has to stand on the sidelines? And also, somewhat controversially, all of the main protagonists look like teenagers. They are fast asleep, comfy in their bed, and she appears out of nowhere and scares the living bejesus out of them. She appears in their most vulnerable moments. Now, some may say because she doesn't want anyone else to hear, but can they hear anyway? Can she not just speak in the mind's eye to them directly? And why is she so comfortable looking at bloodshed? She's presented as a storyteller, but she lets both sides suffer many a casualty. Is it really in the name of balance, or does she enjoy the bloodshed and think that the cost of humanity suits the greater good in her collection and desire of the true runes? And is she one of Hikazak's people, where his rune of change causes everyone to wander from place to place without settling, right? The ancient history of the Sindar. She was part of the Gate clan as well, obviously. They perished in that historic battle, her and Windy being survivors, her being blinded in that encounter as well. She is a true rune bearer. Why did she not have the power to stop that particular catastrophe? How much knowledge is she secretly withholding from the heroes and all of the stars of destiny? She always blesses the Tenkai Star, guiding the hero against tyranny. She always requests the gathering of the 108 stars of destiny, but she always pushes the hero into conflict, pushes the hero into making tough decisions, pushing them into emotional trauma and stress. She emphasizes the stars of destiny, collecting all of the people who will gather underneath your banner, giving you power to do what's right. But what is right? There's two sides of the same coin. Both sides are fighting for their cause, their people, and their homelands. Why is she always so biased in one direction to make sure that one particular direction gets the favoritism and guidance from her, the Seer of Destiny? Could it be that she needs the bloodshed like the Beast Rune to awaken a special power? Is she enjoying the war? Her backstory is absolutely key. Her and Windy were once on the same side, but after gaining halves of the Gate Rune, they became eternal enemies, like Sword and Shield, Black Sword Rune, Bright Shield Rune, like Dawn and Dusk combining together to keep the sun under control. As they separated and got each half of the Gate Rune, Windy sought power, openly manipulating rulers and armies, whereas Leknaat, in contrast, played the role of the Guardian and the Protector. But are they really that different? They were once on the same side, serving under the same master, and one is openly manipulating the story through force, whereas the other one is trying to guide people through prophecy and destiny. However, their struggles against each other actually drags nations into their struggle and on opposing sides of the war. So in summary, Leknaat never fights directly. She uses children and young leaders as her pawns to do her bidding. She promotes destiny over free will, but keeps luring the heroes and saying man's existence is never without meaning, and if you try hard enough you can change destiny. She overrides the natural choice of things by forcing the 108 stars of destiny into place on one particular side of the war. Her apprentice even rebelled against her when Luck understood his birthright, what he represented. He and his entire arc suggested that she was manipulating him and controlling him from the shadows, and he wanted to break free of her reins. However, Luck does find his way back to her in his final moments, realizing the folly of his actions. And every war is actually tied to a true rune and story surrounding that true rune. But who's the one who ensures that the war drags on to its natural conclusion? It's Leknaat. So she could indeed be the ultimate orchestrator of the whole Genzo Suikoden cycle of bloodshed and villainy, not through conquest but through manipulation. So the questions are, what is her true relationship with the other rune bearers? Does she actually serve the Gate Rune? Is she being controlled, or does it serve her? Is she a Hiksak clone? How is she related to all the happenings in the past? Is she genuinely preserving balance or ensuring endless conflict? And as the Suikoden series is continuing with Suikoden Starleap announced, hopefully Leknaat's path of destiny will finally be revealed, potentially as the greatest villain of them all. And through centuries of war, Leknaat, the wise seer, may not be all that she seems. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the bell for more Suikoden deep dive content. Additionally, I'm opening again the Suikoden Shop worldwide for official Konami merchandise available to everyone coming soon. Here's some snap previews and here's some goodies that I've been given by Figgyz, a new Genzo Suikoden and RPG merch provider. Looky. I am so excited to be one of the first in the world to get these first batch release Genzo Suikoden goodies from Figgyz. These are going to be highly in demand and I can't wait to see them in person. So without further ado, thank you so much Figgyz for sponsoring this video, and let's open them up and have a look right now. Wow, look at that. We have Jowie first and foremost. Genzo Suikoden number 2. The anti-hero. Is he a protagonist? Is he an antagonist? We have Figgyz right here. It says on the back, Jowie, a childhood friend of the hero whose ideals lead him down a different path. Pop magnet collectibles include, as you can see, the backdrop Jowie Figgyz collectible right here. And you can see the whole collection. We got McDowell, we got Ted, we got Jowie, and we have Rue as well. Figgyz 067. Can't wait to open this up and show all the Genzo Suikoden fans worldwide. Now, if you want your own Figgyz, use my affiliate code down below to get your Figgyz ASAP to display on your Genzo Suikoden treasure collection. And they are magnetic, display stand included, and you can attach them to the wall as well. And they have a reversible metal background. So there is a Jowie. And second, of course, it had to be, it's Rue. Genkaku's adopted son. Spoilers included. You've all played Genzo Suikoden anyway. Look at them majestically together right there. Rue 066. An amazing thing with Figgyz is if you scan the QR code, you can add them to your Figgyz deck app as well and have plenty of fun. It's a whole new world with lots of Figgyz to see. Gotta catch them all. That's Pokemon. But Genzo Suikoden as well. And we have Ted, obviously the former bearer of the Soul Eater. His past is well known. You know all about the village of the Hidden Rune. Ted looking mighty, majestic as well. Playable character in Genzo Suikoden 4. Love me some Ted. And obviously for me, the original hero that started it all, Ter McDowell, the bearer of the Soul Eater rune, right there. Now, I can't wait if the Figgyz Genzo Suikoden line does well. I'm sure they're going to release more. I want me some Odessa. I want me Seer. I want all the Suikoden waifus. Sire leads, why not? Collectibles right here. Now I'm going to open them up for your viewing pleasure and show you how Figgyz works. So I've got to go 064. Get with Ter McDowell first and foremost. Now he's looking proper serious. He's in duel mode. Is he dueling Teo McDowell? The memories, man. The memories. Okay. Am I going to be subtle? Shall I open it up cleanly or shall I just splice it open? Here we go. Beautiful packaging, by the way. I love how the orange stands out. There is our Ter McDowell Figgy. Front and back. Really, really nice with the QR code. He comes with a standing base as well. Comes with a base. And obviously, Greg Minster as well with a magnetic base. Now, sometimes you can even get a rare special Figgy as well. Kind of like Pokemon cards, you can get rare ones as well. So yeah, let's see if we got them. This is a really nice metallic base magnetic with Genzo Suikoden, the Gate Rune walls as well. Let's see that stick on. Wow, that's banging right there. Look at that, Genzo Suikoden. I'm sure it's reversible as well, so you could actually stick him on this one. Which one looks better? Let me know in the comments below. Does he look better on that background or on that background? I think he kind of stands out and pops on that one, right? So we're going to leave him there for now on that one. And this is a magnetic sticker, very, very thoughtful in case you want to plug him onto the wall as well. You can do it in that regard. And you get a special pouch here. Earn rewards through this exclusive card attachment. Scratch chance! Join the exciting world of Figgyz, earn points and redeem more Figgyz, including exclusive ones. Add to your collection. So looking forward to that one. We got Ted and the village of the Hidden Rune. Very, very thoughtful. I like how all of the backgrounds are cinematic and memorable experiences. Here we go, Hidden Rune. There's Ted on there right now. But once again, I do think they pop on this one, right? Let me know if you agree in the comments below. But that's a really, really beautiful scene, isn't it? That's nice. There is Jowie in Chiaro in front of his house. My goodness, unfortunate for him. Was it Marcel Atriades who kicked him out? Jowie. Shall we leave him there just for the lols? Oh dear. Jowie. I really like that display. Okay, there is Jowie and definitely Bochan. And definitely the son of Genkaku, the legend himself. Look at Rue, meaning business. The bright shield hero, the bright shield ruin. One half of the ruin of the beginning. Figgyz, big up yourself. You've created a masterpiece. And that is Genkaku's dojo. They really have done their homework in the most iconic, fitting scenes and support them all the way with my exclusive affiliate code. Oh, Genkaku, he would be proud of his son, right? Leading the Dunan unification wars. But once again, I do like that white background standing out. Look at these, man. Look at these. Even on this side, you get the scenes, the scenic scenes from Chiaro itself and our heroes. Genzo Suikoden 2 and Genzo Suikoden 1. Gotta love it.